Let me guess. You told yourself that 2026 would be different. This would be the year you finally save money, the year you get serious, the year you stop just surviving and actually start building something. But here's the thing. It's February. You've already ordered takeout more times than you planned. You still haven't started investing. Your savings account looks exactly like it did last year. And you keep telling yourself, I'll fix it next month. Look, if that feels personal, it's because it is. And you're not alone. A recent survey by Bankrate found that nearly 56% of Americans can't cover a $1,000 emergency expense without going into debt. Over half. That's not a math problem, that's a habits problem. And today, we're going to talk about the 7 habits that are quietly, almost invisibly, destroying your financial future. My name is Aurelia, and I spend way too much thinking about the 7 habits that are secretly destroying our future. So make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you. Because look, I'm not here to shame you. I'm here to wake you up. Let's talk about what's actually holding you back. Here's what most people don't realize. Later is the most expensive word in the English language. Let me show you something. If you invest $300 per month starting at age 25, earning an average 8% annual return, by age 65, you'll have roughly $1 million. If you wait until 35 to start, you end up with around $440,000. That's a $560,000 difference from waiting 10 years. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Aurelia, I don't have $300 extra right now. That's not the point. The point is delay compounds negatively. Time is either your wealth accelerator or your wealth destroyer. Psychologically, this is called present bias. We overvalue comfort today and undervalue future security. It's like choosing 1 marshmallow now instead of 2 later, except in this case, the second marshmallow is a house, freedom, and retirement dignity. Action step. Start with $50 a week. Automate it. Remove woo power from the equation because future you is begging you to start now.
This is where it gets really interesting. You don't stay broke because you don't make enough. You stay broke because your expenses rise exactly as fast as your income. You get a raise, you upgrade your phone, you upgrade your car, you move into a slightly nicer apartment. Look, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that as income increases, spending increases proportionally across nearly every income bracket. That's not coincidence. That's psychology. We anchor our spending to our social environment. If your friends upgrade, you feel behind. If your coworkers travel, you feel small. So you spend to feel equal. Here's the math. If you get a $500 monthly raise and invest that instead of spending it at 8% for 20 years, that's about $295,000. That's what lifestyle inflation is quietly stealing from you. Action step. Every time your income increases, invest at least 50% of the increase before adjusting your lifestyle. Not after, before.
Look, we need to talk about cars. The average car payment in the U.S. is over $700 per month, according to Experian. $700! That's $8,400 per year. Invest that annually at 8% for 30 years? You're looking at around $1 million. Your car isn't transportation. It's an opportunity cost machine. Now, you might say, but Aurelia, I deserve nice things. Yes, you do. But nice things should be purchased from surplus, not debt. Here's what most people don't realize. Debt payments shrink your future options. They don't just take money, they take flexibility. And flexibility is the real wealth. Action step. If you're financing a depreciating asset, calculate its 20-year opportunity cost. Seeing the number changes behavior. Ugh, this one frustrates me. You cannot improve what you don't measure. Would you run a business without tracking revenue? No, but you're running your life life that way. A study by the National Endowment for Financial Education found that people who actively track spending are significantly more likely to build emergency savings. Why? Because awareness changes behavior. Here's the analogy. Trying to build wealth without tracking expenses is like trying to lose weight while refusing to step on a scale. You're guessing. And guessing is expensive. Action step? Track every dollar for 30 days. No judgment, just awareness. Clarity creates control. This one is subtle. You watch finance videos, you read productivity books, you download budgeting apps, but you don't execute. Here's what most people don't realize. Learning about money feels productive because it activates the same dopamine pathways as actual progress. But information without implementation changes nothing. It's like buying workout clothes but never going to the gym. Here's the hard truth. If you're not investing monthly, building a skill that increases income, or paying down high-interest debt, you're not progressing. You're consuming. Action step. For every finance video you watch, take one measurable action within 24 hours. Open the investment account, transfer the money, cancel the subscription. Knowledge must convert into behavior. This is where psychology dominates math. People avoid talking about money because it triggers shame. Shame about debt, shame about mistakes, shame about not knowing enough. But silence compounds ignorance. Couples who avoid financial discussions are statistically more likely to experience financial conflict, which research shows is one of the leading predictors of divorce. Look, money stress is relationship stress, and financial avoidance doesn't protect you, it traps you. Action step. Have one uncomfortable financial conversation this week with your partner, with yourself, with a spreadsheet. Discomfort now prevents disaster later. This is the most dangerous habit of all. You assume your current income is fixed. You assume your job defines your ceiling. Here's what most people don't realize. Income growth has a greater long-term impact on wealth than extreme frugality. If you increase your income by $10,000 per year and invest half of it over 20 years at 8%, that's roughly $230,000. You cannot budget your way into extraordinary wealth alone. You must earn more. And earning more requires identity expansion. You stop saying, "I'm bad with money." You start saying, "I am building financial intelligence." That shift changes decisions. That shift changes action. That shift changes outcomes. Look, 2026 is not going to be ruined by one massive financial mistake. It will be eroded by small, repeated habits. Spending without thinking, delaying investing, upgrading too quickly, avoiding discomfort. Wealth is not built dramatically, it is built quietly. One automatic transfer, one disciplined choice, one delayed purchase. Compound interest doesn't just apply to money, it applies to habits. Let me tell you something. I once spoke to someone who said, "I wish I had started earlier." They were 52. They weren't broke. They weren't irresponsible. They just kept waiting for the right time. There is no right time. There is only now. Because here's the thing. Every dollar you waste today is a worker you never hired. Every habit you tolerate is a future you're choosing. And I know, change is uncomfortable, but staying stuck is more expensive. Stop wasting 2026. Not dramatically, not emotionally, strategically. Pick one habit from this list, just one, and fix it this week. Because financial freedom isn't built by motivation, it's built by systems. And if this video helped you see your blind spots, subscribe. Join me, because we are not drifting into 2026. We are building it. I'm Aurelia, and I'll see you in the next one.